is 1 p.m. in Nairobi, Kenya. This is KTN News. My name is Ian Wafula. Now, this coming week is an important week in Kenya's calendar. U.S. President Barack Obama will be jetting in for the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. While we focus on that visit throughout today's coverage, this afternoon we zoom into yet another important event. The Stop Cervical, Breast and Prostate Cancer in Africa conference begins in Nairobi on Monday. We have all the details of that conference this afternoon. Let's first look at some of the top stories at this hour. Now, Safaricom Stadium Kasarani, let's look at another story where U.S. President Barack Obama will in fact make a speech at the Safaricom Stadium Kasarani during his visit to the country later in the week. State House has confirmed that Obama is slated to make the speech at the Safaricom Stadium Arena on the 26th of July. Of course, aside from co-hosting the Global Entrepreneurship Summit in Gigiri, joint news conference at State House in Nairobi, State House spokesman Manuel Spisu says other details of Obama's visit remain scanty.
On Saturday, next Saturday, President Kenyatta and President Obama will co-host the Global Entrepreneurship Summit at the UN compound in Gigiri. And later they will hold bilateral talks at State House, Nairobi. Those talks, as many of you are aware, will be followed by a joint news conference at the iconic site. Many of you have also asked me about reports that President Obama will make a speech at the Safaricom Arena, Moi International Sports Center. The U.S. Embassy has confirmed that this is in fact the case, and a Sunday speech, that is next Sunday, is penciled in. But there are no further details at this stage from the U.S. Embassy, and so as soon as we have stuff that we are authorized to speak about, I will be able to relay that as well. At that point, I have no further details on President Obama's engagement, but I believe that U.S. Ambassador Robert Godek and our Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Ambassador Amina Mohammed, will address the subject later in the week. In the meantime, many of you have also asked me about Kenya's agenda at the bilateral talks, and I can confirm that President Kenyatta will address the subject at a news conference provisionally penciled in for Tuesday, 21st of July at State House.
And still on that visit, the county government of Siaya has budgeted 52.9 million shillings for activities to commemorate President Barack Obama's visit. These activities include a tourism and cultural expo, sporting activities including the Lake Konyaboli Half Marathon and investment conference, among others. According to the budget, the county government has allocated 2.8 million shillings to welcome Air Force One and a similar amount for the purchase of trophies and awards. The county plans to spend 1 million shillings to refurbish Mama Sarah Obama's home, which is also an effort to promote tourism. First Lady Margaret Kenyatta is inviting Kenyans to attend free cancer screening that will usher in the 9th Stop Cancer in Africa conference. The conference seeks to fight the cancer scourge in Africa and will be held at the Kenyatta International Conference Center. It takes place tomorrow and on Tuesday. The conference particularly targets strategies to counter cervical, prostate cancer and breast cancer. The theme of the conference is investing to save lives. Remember that cancer kills over 8 million people globally every year, constituting close to 13% of the total deaths worldwide. 70% of cancer deaths occur in low and middle income countries, majority of which are in Africa. In Kenya, for instance, Kenya ranks the third as a cause of death after infectious and cardiovascular diseases, accounting for 7% of national deaths every year. This harsh reality therefore calls for concerted efforts aimed at promoting cancer prevention, early detection, improved diagnosis and treatment, including palliative care. According to medical experts, most cancers can be cured if detected early. And in other news, a Narok County Commissioner has refuted claims by the MP Emwarua Dikir that he has been plotting to grab land in that controversial Mau forest. The MP has raised the red flag, accusing the County Commissioner of leading a new ploy aimed at grabbing hundreds of hectares. This new development has reignited the ugly politics over the Mau, as Asha Mwilu now reports.
Watu wengine wanasema ati mimi nilienda kuchoma manyumba Mau. Mtu kama mimi mzima ambaye hako na akili yote anaweza shika kiberiti na kuchoma Mau kweli? Na kuchoma nyumba ya mtu?
Claims of land grabbing in the Mau forest have just taken a new turn, heating up the controversy even further. The latest accusation by MP Johanna Ngeno points at plans to grow tea on a huge piece of land at the Mau forest. The MP claims that the people behind those plans are claiming that the tea project would help guard the land from land grabbers. But he warns that the tea project is in itself a ploy to grab public land.
Shamba ambao wanapanda ni eka 65,000. 65,000 ngapi? Na tumejua Nyao Tea Zone wamepewa eka 25,000. Eka 40. Huyu mwingine anachukua eka 20,000. Huyu wetu hapa anachukua eka 20,000. Kila mmoja anachukua 20,000 acres ya kupanda chai. Alafu nyinyi mnakaa tu hapa mnadanganywa ati tunajaribu kuokoa Mau. Mnaokoa Mau ama mnaokoa wezi wa mashamba?
Ukweli wa maneno ni kwamba tunapanda hekari 240 peke yake. Hayo mambo mengine ni porojo, ni mambo ya kujitakia.
The county commissioner, who's now found himself on the receiving end of the accusation, has denounced those claims. He says he's urged residents to forward their suggestions over how the matter should be handled.
Tunakaribisha wale wote ambao wanasema kama tunaweza kuweka fence ina hii na hii na hii. Kwa hivyo bado inaendelea. Hakuna haja ya kutetemeka kwamba hii imeamuliwa ama hii mlango imefungwa.
Hiyo ni uwizi wa mashamba na sisi hatutaki watu walete uwizi wa mashamba. Wamekuwa wakipora mashamba huko, wanaleta hapa kaunti yetu.
The Mau forest has made headlines over the last few months, with squatters occupying the land finding themselves in the middle of the politics, all while their livelihoods hang in the balance. Asha Mwilu, KTN News.
Away from that now, and to that top story of ours, the burden of cancer cannot be wished away. Join the fight against this disease in loving memory of the many who have succumbed and in honor of those who have survived. The Scourge Relay for Life 2015 was launched. So what exactly is Relay for Life? The chairman, David Makumi, joins us now in studio for more details. Thank you very much for joining us, David. Now, if you can just bring us up to speed, Relay for Life. Someone hearing it for the first time, what is it about?
Relay for Life is a unique event which is specifically focused on creating awareness about cancer, educating people about cancer, raising funds for cancer, and above all, keeping the cancer agenda on the public domain. It is unique in the sense that it is a 24-hour non-stop event. It offers every participant an opportunity to walk the cancer journey with cancer survivors. When we talk about cancer and people affected by cancer, sometimes we hear about it and forget it. But for the individual who has had cancer treatment, for example, they receive chemotherapy today, when they will be vomiting at 3 a.m. in the morning, they are all alone with their family. And Relay for Life is an opportunity for us to take 24 hours to just reflect on what they go through, and also to remember the many people we lose to cancer. This country, for example, loses almost 30,000 Kenyans, from cancer every year. That's a lot of people. It may sound like statistics, but they are family, they are friends, they are mothers, they are sisters to somebody. And during Relay for Life, we commemorate them. This year, Relay for Life will be held in October during the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Part of the many activities that are geared towards keeping the cancer agenda just alive. We know currently we are having the Stop Cervical and Breast Cancer Conference, and that will come and go. We don't want the momentum to stop, and that's why Kenyans will gather at Nyayo Stadium in October on 10th and 11th, 24-hour non-stop, to walk the track. It's a unique event given that it affords every person, from the street sweeper to the to a company executive, from a cabinet secretary to just ordinary Kenyan, just walk the track, take time to walk 1 lap or 2 laps, anytime during the 24-hour session. And Kenya is fortunate because it's the 3rd country in Africa that is franchised to host this event on behalf of the American Cancer Society. Yeah.
So how big is this program, and perhaps how many people are involved?
The Relay for Life engages as many Kenyans, as many people, and in our context, of course, as many Kenyans as would want to be part of. From school children, and we shall be having an activation for school children during the 3rd term in September. From school children, whether they are in kindergarten, primary, secondary, universities or colleges, to workers, to the hawkers, to mamambogas, to just about everyone, including the matatu touts. Anyone can be part of Relay for Life, and all they need to do is find time, whether it's at 3 a.m. in the morning or at 5 a.m. or at midday, to just come and walk the track. You know, you can take, and you don't have to run. You know, you can be in teams of 15 and decide who will walk at what time. So if I am in a team that's going to walk, I can offer my team, well, guys, I will walk at 1 a.m. up to 4 a.m., and a team member will take over from that time. So at any one time, the idea is, at any one time, the track has somebody walking, not necessarily running. You can be on a wheelchair, just anyone can take a stroll around. And apart from raising awareness and focusing on cancer during this event, it's healthy to walk. And Kenyans are not walking as much as we would want them to. You know, because with all the bodas in town, you know, everyone takes a boda to some place. So this is an opportunity to just come and walk the track. You can run if you want to, but just walking the track in solidarity. And we have a unique session during the relay event for all cancer survivors. So again, any cancer, whether it's breast, whether it's cervical, whether it's prostate, whether it's stomach or skin or eye cancer, any cancer survivor should come and be part of the survivors lap or the mashujas lap, because those are real shujas. So in terms of scope, it can engage just about everyone. Our thinking is in the coming year is to devolve it so that every county can have its own Relay for Life, you know, at their county headquarters. So it's an event that can essentially engage the entire country so that we can focus on cancer and the challenges around cancer in terms of access to treatment, in terms of access to screening, and also in terms of the cost of cancer treatment, which is huge, and it's probably much easier and cheaper for the country to invest in screening and education. And that's what Relay for Life also seeks to do.
You've talked about perhaps later on devolving this to the counties. So what kind of engagements are you currently having with the governments?
We have had in our inaugural Relay for Life last year, we had participants from various counties, and they're people we look at as champions. We had survivors because it's about them. We had families who have had a cancer survivor from different counties, and they had to travel all the way to Nairobi for this. And all of them did express the wish that we would rather have this, you know, host this in our counties. You know, to start with, Relay for Life is a grassroots movement. You know, it doesn't help if the county government takes it up and wananchi are not engaged. So if wananchi are for it, then it's much easier now for us to talk to county health executives, and we have had a real chat with the folks in Machakos, in Kisumu, and a couple of other counties preliminary, so that they can run the relay event in their counties the way a Relay for Life event should be held. Because it also must be held within certain parameters, so that if you are participating in a Relay for Life event in Kenya, and you also went and saw a Relay for Life in Malaysia or in Canada or in the UK, you say, no, it's not different. I know this is Relay for Life because it follows certain parameters as a franchised event. So that whether it's in South Africa or Bulgaria, it's one Relay family, one world, one hope, and that's our mantra.
I also understand that you know, the program raises some funds. How is this so, and how much perhaps have you raised this far?
Yeah, we did our inaugural Relay for Life event last year. It was pretty much a learning event in terms of how to run the event and engage the public. We were looking at looking for funds to assist those who are unable to complete their treatments, especially those who already were on treatment. We raised 3.5 million shillings, which also covered for the event hosting, because, you know, for example, the stadium and all those things must be paid for. But we were fortunate to have a number of patients that we assisted, especially those who are from out of town. We have patients like from Loitoktok and other far-flung places that we were able to assist in partnership with the cancer treatment centers here in Nairobi. Cancer, as I've already mentioned, is very, very expensive. And what we have worked with, even in the previous Relay for Life, is working with the cancer centers, the Nairobi Hospital, the Aga Khan, MP Shah, Kenyatta National Hospitals, and Texas Cancer Centers. They all participate in the Relay. And what they do, they offer free screening during the event, and also work on subsidizing treatment for a number of selected welfare patients who absolutely cannot afford. And what Relay for Life did is to help a few of them complete their treatments instead of dropping off.
Yeah, okay. We are going to hold that discussion for now. We want to take a short commercial break, of course. The interview will be coming back for our viewers on KTN News. Of course, we just want to understand how one can access Relay for Life services. And of course, you know, cancer continues to consume at least 30,000 people annually just in Kenya alone. And CS James Macharia went on and said this number translates to 70 people being lost daily. Of course, quite some scaring figures right there. As we wish our Muslim brothers and sisters a happy Eid, we're informed that the Wazee in Mombasa are holding an Eid Baraza. This meeting is taking place after Eid celebrations and centers on the security situation in the coastal town, among other critical issues.
watamaliza hatua 3,000 steps. Sasa sijui wengine walikuwa washaanza kuhesabu.
Mitaa iweke mipango yake. Tusingoje
sana mheshimiwa. Endelea vizuri sana. Kwa hivyo ni jukumu letu.
Tuna changamoto nyingine ya ugaidi. Siku nyingi tunasema kwamba Uislamu ni dini ya amani, ndio tunajua na kila mtu anajua. Lakini sisi kama Waislamu tumefanya nini kusaidia serikali? Vijana wanasema kwamba wanapigana jihad. Jihad ile ndogo ndogo ilikwisha, ile ya kukimbizana ilikwisha, hiyo ni jihad ndogo. Jihad kubwa ni jihad ya kupambana na nafsi yako. Wakati hawa wanahubiri jihad huko nje, kwa nini viongozi wa kidini, maimamu na viongozi wengine hawawezi kuhubiri jihad katika msikiti? Wafundisheni vijana jihad maana yake nini katika misikiti.
Viongozi, tafadhali viongozi, tusitumiwe kuweza kugawanya watu wa Mombasa ama uongozi wa Mombasa County. Kuna mambo mengi ambayo yamekuwa yakitokea ya uchochezi, ya kuchochea, ya kutaka kuleta mgawanyiko na kutaka kuleta chuki. Mimi nataka kusema 2017 iko karibu, haiko mbali sana, lakini sasa hivi tuko katika maendeleo. Na kama tuko katika maendeleo, in the fight of corruption, kama kweli tunasema tunapinga ufisadi, let us be sincere, let us be genuine katika mambo ya kuzungumza mambo ya corruption.
And the national rugby 15s team upset 19th ranked Spain to win 36-27 in a test friendly at the Rugby Football Union grounds. The victory was a sure ticket for the Simba to climb up the world's rankings before the next international assignment. And as Robinson Okenya reports, Joshua Chisanga was named the man.
It was a case of two lions in a jungle, each preying on the other to determine the king. With both teams coming from a backdrop of respective wins, The battle went in Spain's favor earlier on as Bradley Linklater gave the Los Leones a 3-0 advantage courtesy of a successful converted 60-meter penalty. That awakened Simba, who roared louder as fly-half Darwin Mukiza grabbed the first try of the match to give Kenya a 5-3 lead. Simbas doubled the advantage 3 minutes later after Samuel Yates set up Darwin Mukiza for a 50-meter run to give Kenya a 10-3 lead. After which Bradley Linklater cut the lead to 10-6. Kenya continued to dominate their half and 5 minutes before the breather. Oliver Mangeni had Kenya 17-6 up, getting the attending fans on their feet. Spain were handed an advantage after Oliver Mangeni was sin-binned, to which Spain made a penalty try to cut Simba's lead. Vincent Mose, however, had other plans for the home team as he restored Simba's lead to 22-13 before Anibal grabbed his side second try. Neil Barrow gave the Spaniards the lead for the first time in the game with a 27-22 advantage. A penalty try and a conversion restored Kenya's lead to 29-27 before Lawrence Buyachi's try ensured Kenya walked away with victory as he gave Simba a 36-27 win.
Deserve to win. They play better. They have been very dangerous in the backs. We knew that, but we haven't been able to stop them. And good win for Kenya, and congratulations.
The beginning of the match we tried to close that gap, but Kenya with the ball is very, very dangerous, and we saw the score.
The challenges have been a lot, but I'll tell you, if you make yourself believe that you can achieve it, you can become it. And that is what today has happened to us. It is not by accident.
Joshua Chisanga was named the man of the match.
After today's win, Kenya has showed the world why it's ready to step up to the big stage and dine with the big boys. Simba have showed their performances this year were by no chance a fluke. Robinson Okenya, KTN Sports.
And that story by Robinson Okenya brings us to our close on KTN. But for our viewers on KTN News, we continue right after the break. My name is Ian Wafula.